All right. So here's what we're doing right now. I need to work on this video, but one thing I thought that would be really nice is if you could see all of the possible candidates for, you know, who you could play as, but like with, you know, stats that made sense. That way, like, you know, if you haven't played before, you could maybe make a informed decision based on your play style after playing like a game or two. And so far this is what I've come up with. So Space Marines are going to be like the baseline for everything. Katana Squirrel, thank you for the 67 months of support. That's very very nice of you. And I'm just going to rate everyone else based on that. So Adeptus Sororitas, for example, has 0 on the psychic scale. There's 20 possible factions, so I'm rating it out of 20. We probably want to rate it closer to like out of 10 instead. But yeah, maybe we do it out of 10 instead. Yeah, let's do it out of 10. So I'll just cut all the numbers in half. Imperial Knights, yeah, I just copy pasted that one from the Chaos Knights one. Yeah, so I'm just gonna cut all these numbers in half. Make it out of 20 instead of out of Anon, thank you for the 3 gift subs. One of which is, oh yeah, no, 2 gift subs, but all the same, thank you. I would say that Sororitas are as mobile as Knights or Marines. I think that Marines are sort of a jack of all trades. Master of none. We could probably... Yeah, we want to set the model count on that to 1 because that's as low as that goes. 0 on Psychic for Imperial Knights. And then we want to bring this down to half of 15 would be like 7. I would say that they're better in melee than Marines. But I want to say that they're worse in movement despite the fact that they have more movement. So I'm just going to copy paste this because I think that this is accurate. So what I'm going to try and do here is not like where they are in 9th edition, but where they are like generally. They're big bases, and so like there'll be buildings in the way and you can't knock them down. So you have to walk around buildings and stuff. So they're faster, but they have to walk around stuff rather than like leaping through windows like people on foot can. So like you can, if you're a good player, you can really play around the fact that knights can't move at all. I think we put the model count for custodes at like 2 because it generally has twice as many models as knights. 0 psychic capabilities. Durability out of 10. I'd say they're at least as durable as a knight. Movement, they're mostly Terminators and bikes. It depends on your build, man. It's either 5 or 4 or 6, so I think that means it's 5. Because you could go for jet bike spam, but you could also not. And I think we could probably say they're amazing at shooting and melee. Like, they kind of do everything right, except for the fact that they don't really have enough shots to make it happen. Maybe we knock these down to like 9. Mechanicus. I mean, do we really consider the shooting of Custodes to be that good? Is it better than Tau? I don't think so. We'll put it at 8. Mechanicus, I think we could put at 9. Because they hit on 2s, but they have like 3 shots, so it's like, whatever. I also have no idea how to like make this thing work. Like, I'm just surprised that this is actually picking up stats right now. Melee, definitely not known for it. I would say that they do have some melee. Why and how did I join an Excel stream? We're working on a video, but I want to make sure that I've got all this done first. Durability, that is not the thing that Mechanicus is known for. I think that they're less durable than sisters, generally speaking. Movement, they're about as fast as Space Marines, right? They're like move 6. So we could give them a 5. Model count, I think you got near the upper end. I think you could probably say 6, and then they don't have psychers, I'm pretty sure. I think you have psychic capabilities. Well, I'm bring this up to 2, just because it's noteworthy. Okay, Astra Militarum, I don't really want to give you any points for, like, melee. Yeah. Shooting, that's kind of what you're known for. Durability, like, less durable than... I think you could say less durable than Marines. Movement, I want to say better movement than Marines, so we'll say 6 there. And model count, I think you're probably one of the very few Horde armies in the game. So I think we could probably put 10 there. And then Psychic, they have it, I think. Astropaths, I think, are still in the book. So we could put that at, like, 1. Grey Knights, I'm going to put at 10. I think we could probably just copy-paste the rest of this. Although the model count, I think, is lower. We could probably say 3 on model count. And then I think all of this is roughly the same. I'm going to come back to Chaos Demons because I honestly don't know how to answer this question. And we're rating for, like, every edition, essentially. So that way, like, this will be future-proof to 10th edition. So Chaos Demons, we're going to skip. Chap Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines. Let's go ahead and steal the Space Marine. Oh, okay. I think that the stuff that's true about... But they slant slightly more towards, like, melee. Have they always been like that? I want to say that they have. I think they were in 8th edition as well. Okay. Are they as good at melee as Knights? No, I think Knights need to go up a tier. Shooting, I mean, at least this edition they don't feel very good. Obliterators were really good in 8th. I don't know what they were like in any other edition because I only played 8th and such. So should we put shooting at like 4 maybe? Like, or maybe even 3? Like, not really what they're known for. I think that they do more shooting than Astra Militarum does Psychic by a decent amount. That sounds about right. Durability, I think that we can say 5, just like the other stuff. 5 for movement. Model count, I want to say as well 5. And then Psychic, it's kind of a thing. Death Guard, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I would say that you're less durable than Custodes, but more durable than... less durable than Knights and Custodes. I think Knights need to go up in durability. Movement, I think we could say that they're like a 4 because they're slow. I think anything with move 5 in general needs to be like a 3 maybe. Model count, it's fairly elite. I think we could go at 3 like Grey Knights. Psychic is a thing they do, but it's not like their main thing. I think we could probably put 5 in. They do it about as much as Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines do. I don't know what they're doing as far as melee and shooting. I guess that they're still melee focused, so maybe do 7-3 again. Seems fitting for Nurgle. Thousand Suns, melee is definitely not their thing. So I think we could probably go 3-7 on this. And then durability, I think we can say that they're more durable than a regular Chaos Space Marine, but less durable than... That's awkward. So we got to go up 1 with everyone, I think. Death Guard are as durable as Custodes. That's wrong. Death Guard and T-Suns are about the same durability, you think? So we could probably pop that down to 6 then. Movement. They have some movement shenanigans, but I think they're move 5, aren't they? Or are they move 6? I'm going to give them a good old 10 in Psychic, because that's like the only thing they do. I think if you spend more than like 30 minutes on one phase, we could say it's your thing. Model count. It's like Death Guard. It's a fairly small amount. God, the time when optimal CSM was 9 Obliterators, 3x7 Plague Marines, 2 Tzeentch Demon Princes. Dude, if you could sneak in a few more, like, Thousand Suns ones. Was it the Supreme Command attachment from 8th edition? Rubrics are 8, so we could just say they're 5. World Eaters, I'm gonna take a guess and say that they're basically just Space or Chaos Space Marines, but with no Psychic, and probably better melee. So let's bump them up to like 8 on melee and 0 on Psychic. I bet you that's right. They're literally not out yet, so there's no way of knowing that. Oh yeah. Plague Marines, Plague Burst Crawlers. Gross. Eldari and Drukhari, I think we can probably rate fairly similarly. I want to say that Eldar have like an 8 in Psychic. Just going off of vibes, really. Model count, and then Drukhari have 0. I would say that they're not very durable. I would say they're Sororitas durable. I mean, that's still kind of how it is. You can bring Terminators and basic rubrics, and that's about it. Like, technically speaking, with the Invulnerable save, Harlequins are pretty durable, but... blah. Movement for both Eldar and Drukhari, I think, is one of their main things, I would say. Like, the good movement speed, I'm going to give them an 8 on that. Model count. They didn't have Cultist or Zangor before that. That still feels like fairly useless. I want to say that they've got 6. I want to say it's more than Marines. About as much as sisters. Shooting, I want to say, is more their thing than fighting is. And I want to say that Drukhari has pretty decent fighting. It's not Imperial Knights good. It's not Custodes good. It's better than Sororitas. I think they're as good as Sororitas. And then I think Eldar, I think we can... I can't think of any really solid melee options for Eldar. 3.5 thousand suns were terrible. Tau should be pretty easy. Melee, I'm going to give you a 1 because you're fucking useless. Shooting, I'm going to give you a 10 because you're going to spend all of your time there. Durability, more durable than Marines. Sort of. On at least battle suits and broadsides. And that's a majority of what you're taking. I'll go with like 6. God, they're not Death Guard durable. They're not Death Guard durable. We need to change the durability on this guy to 9. Because anything that changes here needs to change with the regular knights. Excluding the psychic. I think aesthetics are going to be kind of the same video, but I think, so basically what's going to happen is I'm going to have this graph, but with just one faction at a time, and go, Adeptus Sororitas, they're the, like, battle nuns of 40k. They have a very, like, cathedral gothic look to them. Generally, you're trying to make a martyr of yourself, or, you know, serve the emperor, and you get buffs for doing that. Mostly known as a melee armory with no psychic ability. And then there you go. That's like a short description of them, and then like have a picture of like a sister of battle or something. I think that would work fairly well. And that's like, okay, like I'm kind of into that, like, you know, and so you might look into it more. The issue is that there's, what is this, 21 factions? Drukhari are still definitely a 3. Okay, so like Mechanicus durable. Sure. Genestealer cults, I think we could probably just take the Mechanicus thing. Or not Mechanicus, Astra Militarum, and copy paste it. I haven't seen them in so long, I forgot what the fuck they do. You're definitely going to be playing a horde of guys. They had Muscle Beach. I don't know what else they have as far as, like, melee? A bit more in movement because they can do ambush tactics. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Let's give them a 7. They're not as, I don't think they're as fast as, like, Eldar are. And then Psychic, I think we're going to buff up some, because they're kind of known for that, right? I think we could go with, like, 4. They've got less Psychic than I think your average Space Marine army. No, they have about as much, right? Like, no one fucking plays these guys, so I don't know what the fuck they do. I honestly just want to copy this for Votan. And, then reduce the movement and increase the durability. We're going to increase the durability. I want to say they're going to probably even out to being... Death Guard durable sounds right. And then Death Guard speed also sounds right. The Votan are the dwarves, yes. They definitely have more shooting than melee, but it's all kind of good. I'm gonna give them a 6 on both shooting and melee. That railgun is something fierce, but it's one shot, and so it better fucking work. I'm gonna make it between 0 and 10 now. I think 20 is too high. This is still showing like the full amount. I don't know why. I decided to change it down to 10 because it really doesn't matter. We're kind of going off of vibes here. Necrons. Okay, so easy, 0 psychic. Same with Tau. They're as slow as Death Guard. Honestly, can I just copy paste the Death Guard thing? Maybe even out their melee with their shooting. They're kind of pretty good at both, and they're a little bit more hordy most of the time. I'm gonna go with like Sisters of Battle level of horde. Do you think there are more models in a Necron army than a Sisters battle or Sisters army? Because I'm trying to decide between like 6 and 7 there. And I think I want to bump this up to at least 6. I don't think that it's definitely not Knights good melee. Kind of surprised that I said that Death Guard were Knights, almost as good as Knights in. Yeah, okay. We can bump it up to 7. If you're going Necron Warrior spam. Orcs, theoretically. Where's the floor for durability? 4? Had a really bad ear infection, didn't know. Jesus, that sounds rough, man. Are you doing any better now, Uzumaki? I wouldn't say that orcs are known for their psychic. They're known for their melee, but I don't know if they're as good as like custodes in melee. Like, here's the weird thing about orcs is like orcs have like a 2 in psychic? Really? Out of 10? I think they cast more psychic spells than Chaos Knights. Well, we're going off of like rules-wise what they're able to accomplish. Bring back the foot template. It's a reference that most of chat's not going to get. Was it Foot of Gork or Mork? So there used to be blast templates that you would use, and one of the spells for orcs was just a giant foot. And so you'd have to put the foot down, like on the table, like move it around until you got the right spot, and then that would kill a thing or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't around for this spell, but it was yeah, feet. Well, they got weird boys, they got were boys, and they got the kill rigs. So wait, okay. I'm gonna say they got more psychic than Chaos Knights though. And then shooting, like, not really. What did I say for 3? World Eaters and Orcs are probably going to be shooting about as much as... Hey, cute stuff. Wife just showed up in chat. Durability on Tau units. I'm going to come back to that. 6 for movement? Model count? More or less than Space Marines. Alright, Orcs gone to 2 on shooting, despite the fact that, like, every edition I've played, Orc shooting was the way to play them. How's work going, honey? I want to say you have more guys than you do with Marines. Maybe not. I'm excited for you to be home. I didn't get to see you this morning. We put up a blanket in front of the window, so it is like super dark in the bedroom, but it also keeps it warm. And so I had no idea what time I woke up at. Tal's like in between Guard and Space Marines on durability. Okay, I could go with a 4. I think that's fine. I'm just thinking like Fire Warriors are 3, but like, yeah, okay, yeah, because like most of the time you're not using Fire Warriors, but like, you know, Nids, I would say they're mostly about melee and psychic. And I would say that they're not very much about shooting. I want to say they're a horde army, but you could also play them as Monster Mash. Movement. I haven't seen anything but Monster Mash in a minute. How fast are the little guys? Like 7-inch or 6-inch? I think if I poke a little bit at this 6, what does Monster Mash mean? Rather than going with like hordes of Tyranids, let's see. So you can either play your Tyranids like this, where you've got like a handful of big dudes and then a fuck ton of little dudes, or you can just play Monster Mash where it's just a fuck ton of big dudes. So I don't know. Several armies can do Monster Mash kind of lists. How many big dudes though? 4? No, probably more than 4. Durability on Tyranids. I want to say that they're also at 4. And movement, I think we could probably say is 5. How the fuck do I rate Chaos Demons? Like, do I put Psychic at 10 or 0? Cut the difference and say 5 across the board? Just pretend they're Space Marines? Use asterisks? Alright, let's start off with 5. I think that generally speaking, alright, so Khorne is good at melee, Slaanesh is good at melee. The rest of it, not so much. How good? I think they're at least orc good. I think Khorne demons are at least orc good. But I think Tzeentch demons, I think we could easily say that they're a... Let's go with like 6. But I definitely want to explain this. Does the Sisters of Silence, did it actually fuck with your own psychic phase? Like if you bring like a auxiliary or something? I played Custodes and Necrons for a bit when I first started playing the game. On Tabletop Sim, obviously. Shooting, I would say, like, generally speaking, shooting is not something that demons do that well. I think we could probably say they're about as good at shooting as orcs are. You could probably even say lower than that. And I know flamers exist, but shut up, they're getting nerfed. Durability. Khorne and Slaanesh have low durability. Nurgle and stuff have higher. It's not that good. I would say that it's probably averages out to a 5. Movement. Hey, what are you doing? Don't. Whatever that is, boy, don't do that. I'm going to say they're a 7 on movement. Because for the same reasons that Genestealer Colts get a 7. You know what? No, Genestealer Colts get an 8. And Daemons get a... Yeah, there we go. Genestealer Colts are as maneuverable as Jakari and Eldar. Is that right? You can also do Monster Mash with Demons. What faction does my cat play? Well, it sounds like Abby plays Thousand Suns, because she was like yelling at me when I was saying stuff about Magnus. Either that or Space Wolves. I couldn't tell if she was on my side or not with that. Well, I think once we like lock things in, we can probably say who has like the 10s and 0s of everything. Who has more durability than Knights? Why not 10? I guess that's their whole shtick, isn't it? Is that they're durable? Model count, I want to say, is significantly higher on average. Unless if you're doing, like, big demons. Have 4 big guys. Alright. So, does any of this seem wrong to you? I still think that orc shooting is better than that. I kind of do too. The thing is, okay. All right, hold up. We're gonna have a nerd moment. All right, quick nerd moment, right? So, with Custodes, you're gonna have like 2 shots that hit on 2s. So both of these would hit. You need to roll a 2 or higher. And then probably wound on 2s as well. Cool, both wounds. You had a great shooting phase as Custodes. Just awesome gun, right? Whereas with orcs, it's going to be more like hitting on 5s. And then probably wounding on like 4s or 3s. So it's like, these are going to be less damage per hit, but statistically it's going to be the average more often, you know? Because like, that was almost exactly average, right? Yeah, orcs just throw a shit ton of dice. That's generally their thing. And the nice thing about orcs is like you get those statistical like averages more often. Because like if you roll 2 dice, you're gonna have a time where you roll a 1. You know? It's only a 16% chance. But when you roll 1 with Custodes, it feels a lot worse than when you roll 1 with orcs. Because you've got more dice to play with as an orc player, you know? This isn't common, but it'll happen. And then there's like a whole like range of things that this scale doesn't really take into account. Like the fact that CSM play like a very different style of gameplay than regular Marines, outside of the melee thing, that it seems like CSM, at least for as long as I've been playing in 8th edition, is you pick a unit and it becomes the best thing ever. Your whole army is about making that wombo combo great. And then like Custodes, I feel like I need to say like paradoxically the cheapest and most expensive army in the game, because if you just buy GW and no Forge World, it's one of the cheapest armies you can play. But if you play with any like competitive stuff, you're going to start hitting some Forge World, and that means you're going to have to start spending Forge World money. Whereas like, have I ever played Kill Team? I played Kill Team when I first started, and I haven't played Kill Team since 8th edition of 40k. But you can still do a Custodes army that doesn't... Yeah, Forge World stuff is mega pricey. But then, like, I think that we need to bring that up again with, like, Eldar? Because have you seen the price on Eldar shit, man? Like, this is really random. Like, I'm glad I don't play them. But check this out. No. Xenos, Eldar. Like, some of these models are fucking ancient. 2 Warlocks for 55. Like, what are they? 32 for that guy? That's about right. Like, honestly, like 30 for a special character. But some of these prices are just like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, the newer ones are obviously, like, more expensive, but, like... A Wraith Knight. Yeah, I mean, a Wraith Knight being 150 is about right. I'm also going to point out, don't buy... Support Weapon Team. $27. What? You're really going to... Because this isn't, like, even a full unit, right? Like, you buy this and the Dire Avengers. And I think they come in... Dire Avengers, are they packs of 5 or 10? It's heavy. Okay, that's the heavy support artillery. Okay. Like, the prices for Eldar stuff is just fucking weird. It's like weirdly more expensive for ancient models. And some of these models are like old enough to drink, you know? Dire Avengers are 5. They're originally released in boxes of 10. And look at that. Where are those Avengers again? Warp Spider's the oldest sculpt in the game. 38 for 5. I cannot wrap in my mind. But that being said, like, I think Eldar are probably one of the if you want to pick an army that's going to be like solid every fucking edition, Eldar are actually probably the answer. I'll be real. Like, Eldar are generally good. And it's because their game plan is, like, move fast. And that's one of 2 styles of play that do well. And I think move fast is a better or a higher skill ceiling than being more durable. So winning tournaments is going to be, you know, that. All right. Oh, we think that this looks right? Warhammer nerds in chat? Winning tournaments right now is all about secondaries, but like, you know, partly explains why CSM is not doing well and why orcs still kind of show up. I mean, I don't know. CSM is doing better than orcs right now, and I don't quite get that because their secondaries are bad. They're so fucking bad. Okay, can I random tangent on this? Long War sucks as a secondary. Like, I legitimately do not understand why people are taking Long War. I never score more than 5 on Long War. Long War is so bad. I like banners. I play word bearers, so I like the word bearers one when I'm not playing an army that's going to shoot me to death if I just stand in the center. And that's pretty much it. The Bile one is good. I'm Better Than You and Emperor's Children is okay. I don't remember what category is in, so it's probably bad. You probably take Psychic Interrogation. You just fucking pray they don't have a way. I think the idea is Long War is a guaranteed 5. In what fucking universe is Long War a guaranteed 5? That's so bad. Are you kidding me? People are taking Long War for 5? Jesus, man. It's out of 15 points for anyone who doesn't play the game. And, like, there are secondaries that I can max out every fucking time. I was playing some Chaos Knight Player the other day. And bring it down, 15, easy. Against a lot of armies, no prisoners, 15, easy. You know? Durability needs to be more spread out. No one has durability 1 or 2. Which means there's something wrong with our scale. There's a lot of guys that are at 4. I feel like orcs are more durable than Sisters of Battle. I think we're okay to move Sisters down to 2, along with Astra Militarum and Mechanicus. I'm more thinking about how orcs generally have a t-shirt save, but like higher toughness than Astra Militarum or Mechanicus. I don't know who the least durable army in the game is. Gene Stealers or Astra Militarum? Well, Gene Stealers probably need to go down as well. I feel like the tricksiness of, like, what is it, Jinx and the 4-up invuln for Harlequins can probably bump them to a 3 on durability. I'd say, like, it's safe to say that Drakari are half as durable as Death Guard. Seems fine. The shield drones, I think, helped Tau out quite a bit. And so I'm tempted not to change it. I'm tempted to maybe change orcs down to 3 now that there's no one in the 3 slot. Aside from Drakari and Eldar. Are orcs as durable as Drakari and Eldar? How come Forge World has nothing for GSC? Because they just came out for the most part. Same with Votan. There's nothing for either of those 2 armies since they're fairly recent. Anything guard is Gene Stealer Cole. I think we could probably... Okay, I'm going to put guard and Astra Militarum and Mechanicus all down to 1 on durability. And then maybe put orcs on... Orcs more or less durable than Eldar. Like a single boy versus a single Harlequin. I mean, when you put it like that, like... Are these rated off of how they do competitively? These are just rated off of, like, the general vibe of the army. Like, what they're trying to achieve on average. And that way, Why are AdMech's units so squishy? They're mostly just, like, guys. They're at T3, which is, like, weaker. It's about the toughness of an average human being. Orcs have such shit durability that Uno reverse cards into good durability. I mean, that's orcs in a nutshell. Orcs are so fucking random. Like, completely bizarre. Like, they are one of the best shooting armies consistently. And consistently not that great in melee. I honestly think that building to the fluff of your army is probably good advice. Building your, you know, world eaters or your orcs as melee is probably a decent idea, you know? Excuse you. Kitties, I think you guys need to go out. Because you guys are being Russells. Isn't Death Guard's whole thing being durable? Yeah, and I think that if you build for durability on Death Guard, that's great. Alright, where are you at? Everyone out. Death Guard used to have a 33% damage reduction just against everything, which is pretty big. But now it's like a 50%? Question mark? I have no idea what to call that. Does anyone even use the new rule set that halves your starting CP? Yeah, I do. Every single person I play against uses it. You start off with 6 CP, and you have to pay for your warlord trait for your warlord. Yeah, my current list starts off with 0 CP because I don't give a shit. I love it, man. I think it's so much better. Like, it means you can't wombo combo as much in the beginning, but like, you get more CP by the end of the game. It's 12 versus 16. Remember the command points rule, don't say the acronym. You're right, right. Because saying, man, everyone loves command points instead of, you know, the acronym. Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, I forget that that acronym, it means something else as well. Everyone I know loves command points. Everyone loves to play with the new command point changes. They just love it when they don't have that much, but they gain more over time, so that's great. Pogbot, you're timed out. Get the fuck out of here. Bad bot. Oh, I'm not talking about cerebral palsies. I'm talking about child something else. Because people use yeah. So yeah. No, I do like the changes to command points. I think that I think it's good. I was kind of like, I don't know about it, and then I started looking into it, and I'm like, that's pretty fucking good. Should I have a separate scale for price on models? Because that's going to be confusing. Because, like, World Eater is going to be, like, probably more expensive because they have whole new kits. Though, based on the leaks, it doesn't look like they have that many new ones. They've got, like, Angron, the 8 Cursed or whatever. High end, low end? Okay, how about this? We do it at a scale of, like, 3. Or we'll do it out of 10, but we'll only rate them 10, 5, or 1. Alright. And it's going to be relative to each other. So, Knights, I think we could say... Well, okay. Custodes are, I think... 1 to 10. Yep, that's accurate. Grey Knights are probably 1. I think they're one of the cheaper armies you can play. Do I put 1 asterisk? No, not yeah, 1 asterisk. All right, how about this? We're just gonna put all of them at 5. And then we're gonna change it manually. Okay. Let's have Space Marines as our baseline. So our Sisters of Battle more or less expensive than... I'm gonna put Eldar and Drukhari at 10 for no good reason. I'm gonna put Gene Stoller Cult at 10 as well. Because they involve having a lot of models. Yeah. That's a solid point. A 1 on Space Marines just because they're so common and so popular. You could probably find an alternative to Kit Bash or something. Knights, I want to say they're 1. As long as you magnetize, like, you kind of don't spend that much on Knights. Orcs, you can Kit Bash to your heart's content. That's like your thing. Buy a Chaos Demons army, get a free AOS army. I mean, true. A prize casual versus prize competitive. I guess prize competitive would be how much does the faction weigh on well, I mean, like, if you're meta chasing, it's going to be expensive regardless of what you do. You know? That's a lot of columns. Yeah. But I think that this gives you a pretty fucking good idea of what you're looking. The bare minimum for GSC is 2 to 3 start collecting boxes. What character do you get with that? Votan, I think, are probably fairly cheap. Necrons are more expensive, I think, than the average Warhammer army. And I'm gonna say orcs are as well. God, we actually need to have like a sliding scale because they're not as expensive as some of these things. This is a really hard thing to judge. Maybe we just tell people like the weird price change stuff. Like Eldar and Drukhari have weirdly expensive models. Custodes are the cheapest army, unless if you want to go into Forge World, in which case they're the most expensive army. Orcs are very expensive if you actually buy all the official models and you go for Horde. But if you kit bash like you're supposed to as an orc player, they're fairly cheap. Like, I think that this is probably fine. Yeah? Maybe I just get rid of the price thing, because, no. I don't think that stat's super helpful. You get a truck with 5 aberrants, 5 acolytes, with hand flamers and chainsaws, a bunch of shooting nerds with las cannons to walk around. I mean, that's a pretty good start. I think a lot of armies, you could probably just buy 2 of the start collect. I mean, like, that's what I would recommend for Custode players. I don't know how many points the Custode thing is, but it seems like a lot. Hey, Keller, how you doing? Kalari? Don't know if I pronounced your name right. But I think you could probably do 2 of the start collecting Custodes. Let's see. Combat Patrol. That's what they're called now. Combat Patrols. You get 3 bikes. You get, looks like 10 Sisters of Silence, a guard squad, and a character. Yeah, honestly, like 2 of those is probably everything you need. And then you start going to Forge World, and then your bank account cries. That's probably about 2,000 points. All combat patrols are designed for 500 points. Is that true with the Custodes one, though? Actually, I have no idea how many points anything is. Let me try, not Chaos Space Marines. Imperium, Custodes, Battalion. You're never doing a battalion of Custodes. I think it's like 2 shield captains. Well, a shield captain. They're called prosecutors, and then group of 5. Let's say you get 2 prosecutor squads, 1 guard squad, with the banner. What is Forge World stuff? So it's like, how do I get to Forge World from here? They don't have it like super easy to get to. Okay, so this is like the expensive, like nicer models that are, you know, for hobbyists. For instance, like I want a decimator, right? I want to have 2 decimators in my list. So that's gonna be $79 for 1. And he doesn't come with any arms, so I'll have to spend $24 on each of those. Alternatively, you could kit bash it, which is what the fuck I'm going to plan on doing, because fuck this. Like, absolutely not. There's no way in hell I'm doing that. It's over $100 reduce for, like, a 150-point unit. So it's not even, like, out of the 2,000 points in your army, it's not even that much of my army, you know? Custodes. You want like some Venatari? They're $77 for 3. What do? Everything your regular guard squad does, but better and faster because they have wings. You want any of this shit? I don't know what the fuck this is. Never seen it before. This thing, I've got a friend who has like 2 of them. He was very upset when it did not work. These guys, 3 of them is considered common in competitive play right now. Yeah, there's a reason that I don't. So all my like Forge World stuff, like the kill tank, right? Or excuse me, they don't call it a kill tank anymore. Kill burster? Yeah, there it is. So this guy, I have 3 of them. I kit bash them because I'm not spending $214 on them, and they're not even good anymore. This thing, I believe this is the most expensive model that they make outside of Titans, right? Are the models big? Yes. The scale of this thing is kind of hard to like get across in this image, but this is a normal sized human being next to it. Like, that's your list probably. I don't know how much a manta costs, or like points wise costs, but this thing is fucking massive. Yeah, it's understandable. But the thing is, like, you basically can't play this thing. They're about 2,000 points. Aside from the fact that it's like 2,000 points or so, where like that's going to be your whole list, is just a fucking... Like, that makes the Baneblade look small. The Baneblade is big. Then it got a Storm Eagle, or whatever the fuck that is in the back there. What? Why would you do... Oh. This is made from cereal boxes. Okay, fair enough. I thought they, like, fucked up on the paint job. Or putting, like, Mickey Mouse stickers. And I'm like, you just spent $2,000 on it. What are you doing? Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with this now. So Forge World's expensive. And that's why I'm like, Custodes are either the cheapest or most expensive army in the game. I'm not sure which. I don't buy from Forge World. I've not bought a single thing from Forge World. I have several Forge World models that I've kit bashed, like War Boss on bike. Oh, you're $80? No, the fuck you aren't. You were like $30 because I kit bashed him. You know? And I got 2 bikes out of it because I got the biker box, and then... So I guess it was closer to like 80, but I also got other crap. I don't know, man. He scream. Okay. Anyway, we should probably do something that's not this. $30 is still a lot of monies. Yeah, but I mean, I'm going to use this thing for quite a while, and it's like my hobby, so it's fun. I enjoy it. It's a good thing to do. Sprue crons? Okay, we'll show sprue crons. How is the shipping on a company from Kiev? And have you bought from this before? Or is this one of the... Is this like a 3D print sort of situation on this here? Definitely. Yeah, it's got to be 3D prints. Or, how do I explain Warhammer to family who want to buy some figures to me? Tell them, give me $150 plus tax to go and get a Start Collecting box. I love sprue crons. They're so good. Like, so whenever you buy models, they come on a sprue, right? And you have to cut the model off, and then you have to, like, you know, glue them together. Sprue crons are a meme where you just take the sprues and then you make an army out of, like, you know... the leftover waste products of your army. You will get a 0 on your painting and probably get kicked out of the tournament, but you will be very funny for a minute. How viable are Spruecron armies in the meta? Not at all. Because you're not allowed to use them in actual tournaments. I love the face. I love it. Okay, so when they're saying 100% GW store legal, it is all 100% GW plastic. So that's true. But I think if you walk into a GW store and you show up with your sprue crons, they're going to be like, get the fuck out. Because I've got a bunch of sprues. I guess I could make a sprue cron army, but I think I'm going to get kicked in the dick if I do that. But that's what sprue crons are. Make a sprue cron titan. Speaking of titans, is the manta really the most expensive thing? I really thought it was the titans. I mean, it's close. Well, this comes with the body, but not the guns. Yeah, the Titan has to be the most expensive thing on GW, right? Yeah, why don't you send me a picture of that Midnight? You know, in DMs, so we don't talk about it on stream. Yeah, it doesn't come with head, so you don't get head. If you were looking for head, you're not getting it from this guy. Almost $2,000 and no head. All right, and then I'm gonna expand this out a bit, and we're gonna just okay. So let's get some talking points down. So maybe I do this in like the I lane or something. All right, things that I need to bring up. Aesthetic are more important, I think. Don't overbuy. Try the game before you buy if you can. You might just fucking hate it. The Warlord is about 2,400 for a full set. Yeah, fuck that, man. I've known people who have them and they have the little certificate, and I'm like, that's cool. I can find probably a third-party reseller that's selling it for like, you know, fucking nothing. You got those Val Gorback? Oh my god, they're $30 for the fucking Val Gorback. Or Gal Vorbacks. He's good? This guy? You have the Gal Vorback? Oh man. The Titan is also like 3,000 points, yeah. Don't meta chase. Warhound Titan is 2,000, and yeah, I mean, like, you can't play these guys in a standard game, but even if you did, they're bad. I was playing a guy the other day, and he was like, yeah, I can take down a Warhound, you know, Warhound Titan in one turn. It's like, that shouldn't be the case, ever. Warlord has like 60 wounds, and Void Shields, I think. I thought about running the Mastodon, but it turns out, have there been any successful Titans? No. Aside from running like the smaller knights, you don't fucking do this. Like, you straight up will not have a good enough game. Like, you're putting all your eggs in one basket, which means that no one is going to be able to achieve anything. Like, you'll lose because you won't be controlling points and you won't be killing enough. Angron can one turn and Warhounds? Yeah, that sounds right. All right, other things that people need to know, aside from like the general vibe of each army. Aesthetics are more important. Don't overbuy. I've seen so many fucking Reddit threads where it's like, oh, hey guys, I just got into the hobby. And they have like, it looks like they shoplifted half the store. I think a lot of them actually probably do that. Try the game before you buy if you can. Parentheses, kill team. Don't meta chase unless if you got doctor money. The top ranked orc player for a while was I want to say he was like a neurosurgeon or something, because he had the money to actually meta chase. Yeah, I like pictures of painted armies over like boxes. Worth spreading over multiple armies or sticking with one. I have 2 armies, and my logic is that by having 2, one of the 2 will be good. And that generally is true. I run CSM and orcs, and I don't think that you should probably start a second army until you finish the general like build of a first one. And I think you should probably try and go for like the basics first, like troops, characters, then you can go for the other stuff. I think you should probably have like 2,000 points. Get 2,000 points of one army before getting more. I guess I've got a little bit of like a third army in like demons, because I just kind of splash them for whatever I need them for. I've got like 1 corn herald and then like the Zinch start collecting box. And that's like my demons collection. And that's usually good enough, you know? Anything else that they need to know? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Oh, Battle Scribe and Wahapedia again. Just mention it because cheaper way to start your army. I think my video on cheapest army in 40k is probably still accurate, more or less. It's Custodes with some Grey Knights. It's pretty damn close to being accurate. All right, well, I'm gonna go take a piss real quick, and then we're gonna, I think, switch to either, the big thing I regret buying is the core rulebook. I regret it for, this edition, yeah, because I have not gone out in public for this edition, to play it any, because COVID. I think I went and got the core rulebook with a mask on, so... Anyway, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then we'll come back with something else. I don't know what yet. I'll see you guys in just a second. BRB. All right, we're back. Let me actually sit down and face the camera or mic properly. Yeah, honestly, like I like the Yeah, honestly, number one rule of playing any game like this, be it Magic the Gathering or Warhammer, identify the asshole and don't play with them. Because, like, eventually it'll kick them out of the hobby because no one will want to play them, you know? And, I think having the core rulebook for the armies, or at least lying that you have them and say, oh, I've just got the Warhammer app here, and then you're pulling up Wahapedia. Like, might actually start doing that. Codex is fine. But getting the core rulebook is just like, I mean, the core rulebook is like a fucking physics textbook. It's like way too fucking heavy. All right, well, if you have disagreements about this rating on YouTube, let me know. Let me know what you would rate any one army up or down on the scale 1 to 10, or 0 to 10, I guess. 0 for mostly things that they just don't do, and I think 0 is only really applicable for like psychic, because like even world eaters and orcs shoot. They're not good at it, but they shoot, you know? Whereas psychic, like Tau has 0 points in psychic because they're just bad, you know? So I don't know. If you see any of this and you think it's wrong, let me know. What are we streaming next? Because I think we should switch games now. And by games, I mean I think we should switch to a game. We could do Dwarf Fort. We could do Pagan. We could do Potionomics. How about we do that? How about we do a poll? New poll. Game. Peglin, Dwarf Fort, and Potionomics. All right, start poll. I think this is fairly accurate. I think that Space Marines being the baseline for everyone else is, I think, a design choice from the GW team in general. I would vote for whichever one that you would like to see the most, so that way the one you want to see the least does not win. Or one of the top ones. Where's your Catboy game? In hell, where you deserve to be for asking. I'm sorry, that was way too... I went in way too hard on that. Chaos... Oh, but Nurgle. Yeah. A friend of mine claimed that he went to a Warhammer game and saw a Space Marine cosplayer in S&M gear. Man... Yeah... Probably. Maybe? I don't know, man. People are fucking freaks out there. Like... I mean... How many gimps have you seen walk around at a Warhammer tournament? None. Mostly they just wear like a... They just wear like a shirt that says something Warhammer related. What did I see the other day? Oh, I was looking for like on Etsy for like alternative bits and stuff. And I found like some shirts, and they were clearly not Warhammer shirts. I think one said like chaos means family. Or family means chaos, one way or the other. Just like different connotation when you walk up to the table and you're like, yeah, here's my word bearers. Anyway, it looks like Dwarf Fort wins. Oh man, those are actually fucking